I love getting practice against Katman decks now because I believe that Katman is one of the strongest, if not the strongest deck archetype for runner in the current meta game. Being a shaper has a lot of benefits, Deus Ex being one major benefit against the new Jinteki tools. So, and as if Katman wasn't strong enough already, or Parasite Recursion Kate. Either way, very, very strong. Able to get through most ice without much trouble. So, onto the game. I open with a very ideal opening hand with 2 wraparounds and a pop-up window. I save 1 wraparound for the remote server because against Kate, what I really want to do is to pump out the first agenda very early on. So, because I know that I cannot beat Kate late game at all, so I must get the early lead while I still can. So I ice out R&D very heavily. The current setup is Grim into pop-up window into wraparound. I don't rest the Grim, and I rest the pop-up window. Ideally, I would like the pop-up window to be above the wraparound, and I managed to get that done, so that was very good. Because this allows me to gain 1 credit without ending the run. If it were the other way around, and I rest the wraparound first, he would never get to see a light of pop-up window. Oh, the ice on HQ was not a pop-up window. Yep, I just remembered, because there were no agendas in HQ, so I wasn't too concerned about it. So I think I put a program trashing ice on HQ. Then, since the remote is more secure than my HQ, the build is going in there. And this is where the beauty of power shutdown kicks in. Because I power shut down his SMC, he's only able to summon a single icebreaker if he wants to get into my remote. So he tries to get in, I stun him with a Quandary. He can try to retrieve a Code Gate Breaker with Clone Chip into SMC, but he won't have what it takes to deal with the second piece of ice. So this is a very ideal start for me. And this is how you rush agendas against Kate, who will otherwise dominate you late game. Kates are slower than criminals, so you need to capitalize on that very fact. He prepares the Desperado, but I think that's too late for him. Now I debate between shutting down the Clone Chip and scoring the agenda. Tough choice, because shutting down Clone Chip or Data Sucker is huge, but I guess I can wait 1 turn. And sure enough, he runs the next turn, so that's very good. It gives me the chance to power shut him down. I'm only on 2 credits now, so I'm looking weak, but hey, I've rest all the ice that I need. Oh no, Escher. Yes. One of the reasons I said that Kate is slower than criminals is because Kate doesn't have access to account siphon. I mean, most Kates don't run account siphon. Most. I need to qualify myself. Yes, because they spend influence on Desperados instead. So this gives me space. But instead of running account siphon, he uses Escher to punish me. But I'm not sure what he did there with the Escher. It didn't really accomplish much. If anything, he helped me secure HQ. Since there's no way he's getting a HQ, I can safely keep the Astro script in hand. He is obviously intent on running through R&D. So I let him through the first time. He can retrieve his Atman 0 for all he likes. That's the reason why he used Escher. And he gets through. Big deal. Now that he has an Atman on board, it activates the Grim, which is hiding on the 3rd layer of R&D. Thankfully, he didn't Escher it away. So the next time he runs there, he's going to get a nasty shock. I'm in no hurry to score my Astro script, as I said. I'm more interested in bumping my credits up, and I know my Astro script is safe and sound in HQ because he plays the wraparound on HQ, which means that he has no intention of running in there. Oh, but I decide to score anyway, because this is a scoring window. He has 3 credits on KT, 3 credits to his name, he can't do much. So, as expected, he simply installs his resource, and I take advantage of the scoring window to score my Astro script. He's still looking very, very weak. That's because I power shut down his Data Sucker. So, he runs on R&D again. I cannot rest the Grim because I had 4 credits before. And so I'll let him through and score the breaking news. Yep. I think he's finding it very annoying that I'm repeatedly power shutting down all his vital programs. And now the Grim comes out and snipes off his Atman. So yeah, usually against Shapers, especially Katman decks, my deck doesn't perform well because there's so many forms of recursion. My program trashing only slows them down by so much. But for this guy, I just managed to draw all the power shutdowns early, and he just kept losing his programs time and again, and lost a lot of tempo during the game. So yes, he's definitely struggling very hard against my deck. To be fair, I got a very, very good opening. And the moment he saw the fast track, he knew that his game was over. Fast track, summon breaking news, and score it with an extra script token to win the game. That is the power of fast track, and yes, it definitely has made NBN that much stronger. So yes, I felt quite good about beating an Atman deck because that is why I'm going to be expecting a lot from top tier play. So having a deck that can deal with the immense pressure that Atman decks can place is pretty huge. Granted, I got lucky with my draws, as I said. Usually I open with less than 2 pieces of ice in hand, and the runner usually gets a Data Sucker and Desperado combination off very early, both of which can cause the runner to snowball very hard late game. When playing against big decks like Shaper and HB, generally what you want to do is to prevent them from snowballing out of control, win the game before they can get to the point where they are unstoppable. And this should be a primary concern of your deck if your deck is trying to play fast. Like a criminal deck, like an NBN deck or a Wayland deck, you want to either get it done as soon as possible or slow the runner down by trashing their programs or dealing net damage to the point where they just toss their hands in the air and surrender because you have caused them to lose so much tempo while you're just busy scoring agendas out of the remote, or while you're just sniping agendas off if you're the runner. That is an important consideration when engineering and piloting your deck. Thanks for watching. If you found it useful, happy net running.